So the topic of today, while I was grocery shopping, I was like, what can we talk about? What is going on that could really help all of you? And I was like, well, it was just given to me, the non-physical said Ascension. So that is an excellent topic. What is Ascension? Do I have to go through it? Is this, going to hurt or whatever? So we'll get into that today, and we'll talk about my Ascension. It's going on a year now. So that is the topic of today's video, is Ascension. You've heard me talk about it just in a different format of transitioning into 5D, right? Okay, but there's a real term for that, which the non-physical calls Ascension. So what is Ascension? Ascension is, like I said, transitioning into a higher state of consciousness. Remember, we're not our bodies. We simply exist as consciousness, energy, right? So back in 1982, so we'll get into it right now. So back in 1982, I was a 12-year-old preteen, right? And by the way, the 80s were the best. Gen X, we were the last greatest generation. I mean, without question. I mean, I rode in the back of a pickup truck, right? Down the highway, not country roads, drank from a water hose, ate off of wooden utensils, no bike helmets, no internet, no cell phones, no microwaves. Come on, man. Gen X all the way. Anyway, I had to throw that in there. So back in 1982, the word was given. Two major things happened during that point in 1982. One is we were almost removed from the dream, right? Father almost woke us up. He had had enough of our unloving, hating, warring, murdering, killing, raping, pillaging, you name it. But then something extraordinary happened. We began to change. It may not look like it, but Father said, "Oh." And we began to change. And in that same aspect, he initiated the for the ascension, for our bodies that are changing, and they have been changing from 1982 on. Well, what does that mean, Jason? That means there are 3 types of bodies, all right? In our body form right now, well, not me so much, but is the carbon-based life form, what served us well for millennia. Well, that's over with, ladies and gentlemen. In 1982, the word was also given for us to ascend in our second body type, which is the crystalline body form, all right? And that is on a genetic basis, on a cellular basis, all right? So we're being transformed. Our bodies are becoming lighter. It can absorb more light energy, which is permeating Gaia, Mother Earth, and us on a massive level right now. All of us. Nobody will be left out, from the newborn to the 100-year-old. It is happening, all right? And our cells are restructuring to a crystallized form basis. And the third body type is the type too, with Jesus or Yeshua, right? When he was walking through walls, he had a light body, okay? He got rid of the carbon-based, silica-based, and he jumped right into, after his enlightenment, when he was baptized, into what we now know as the light body. He mastered the body, all right? He saw that the walls weren't real. He saw that none of this was real, and he could simply walk right on through it because his body was simply made of light. That's it. And we are all transitioning into that, or will transition into that. How fast? That is completely up to you. It's all up here, and it's all here. You must attack yourself. You must go inside yourself and heal yourself. You've been taught wrong, all right? So I digressed a little bit, but I'm just trying to let you know what this ascension is, essentially, all right? So as we are transitioning into this crystalline formed body, major changes are taking place. And those major changes took place within me almost a year ago, last August. So let's get into that. So by this time last year, I was working as a maintenance man, a building maintenance, and I was starting to feel very tired again, like ungodly tired. And I began to almost in a way stop eating. And then as I was, June and July came around, I was constantly trying to hike up my pants. It's like tightening my belt, and I'm like, and my buddy at, one of my work buddies was feeding me all the time, but it was shit food, donuts and all of this crap. Weight keeps coming off, And finally I'm sitting there at work, and I had missed several days by this time. And I had become so lethargic, kind of like when I was in my NDE in the hospital, that I could not wake up. I could not move. This was the first part. My ungodliness tired. And I am tired now too. It's the same way. It's like all day yesterday, I simply slept. I got up for a couple hours. I did something, and then I would get back on the couch and I would fall asleep, just crashed all night, all day. I wanted to get out into nature, and I was just simply too tired. I could not do it. And it's happening again. But getting back to then is like the same thing. I couldn't get out of bed. So one day I'm trying to install a light and my hands are shaking so bad. My boss calls me up and he says, Jason, I need you to go to the doctor. He says, I'm telling you, you got to go. There's something wrong with you. So I go to the doctor, right? They do an EKG, and they said, no, everything's fine. We don't see anything wrong with you. And I'm telling them these symptoms, right? And my symptoms were extreme fatigue. I'm going to add a few more right now. I was vomiting, and I was extremely dizzy. When I mean dizzy, I'm talking, I fell out of the shower. Okay, I would be standing there taking a shower, and I would lose balance, and out of the shower I went, or I'd collapse the other way, or I'd be walking and I'd have my hands on the wall just to walk. That's how dizzy I was. And again, the sleep. More symptoms started to come up. The vomiting, right? I basically quit eating in August, right? So when this took place, so finally in August, when I handed my doctor's excuse in, they fired me. So I was like, great, now I'm without a job. And now I'm sick, right? Now who's going to hire me? So we'll get into that in a minute. Then worse things started to happen. The lethargy became worse. I mean, my bones started to ache, ungodly like. It was so unreal. I was in so much pain. Then I began to sweat when I would sleep. And I'm not talking sweat. I mean, I would roll over to the left and I would roll over into a puddle of water, right? I would try to roll to the right. I would roll over into a puddle of water, all right? This is how much I was sweating when I was sleeping. It was ungodly. It was gross in a way, because you roll over into this ice cold water and and then you would just stay in this spot, or I would stay in this spot and just continue to just sweat profusely. Now I'm sweating profusely. I'm throwing up constantly. I can't walk very good because I am completely dizzy. And I had to go somewhere on August 8th. So now this is a week into all of these things happening, and I didn't know what was happening. I know it now. This is my ascension. So I'm letting all of you know that if you're experiencing this, to not be afraid, that it is a beautiful thing that you are ascending. All right. So I went to this, I had a speeding ticket I had to go deal with. So I'm standing in line, profusely sweating, shaking, holding this ticket, you know. Two policemen approached me. Are you all right, sir? I think we need to take you to the hospital right now. I said, no, I have this ticket. I just need to. And they brought me into the judge's chambers. And he said, are you all right? And I said, I don't feel well. I just lost my job. I'm not feeling well. My company fired me for it. I can't pay this ticket. And he says, you go home and get well. Come see me in 6 months. This is off the table. All right. And I was so relieved. But here is a major spiritual event coming up. All right. So I was blessed. I was like, I don't have $250 right now, and I just want to go home and go to bed. So I came here, got back in, took off all my clothes, right? Lay down over here. And in this exact same spot, as I'm laying down, and I'm shaking uncontrollably. And you may have heard me talk about this before as a spiritual experience, right? I'm laying there and I'm talking to Father, you know, and I'm like, I need your help. I need guidance. You know what's going on. And then all of a sudden, as I'm laying my feet this way, so here's the back of the couch, right? I'm laying down. I must have been there maybe 5 minutes. And I'm talking, and I had my hands above my head like this, and and then all of a sudden it was a shot of heroin. It was an unbelievable sense of serenity and peace. The pain was gone. And then I felt two hands reach inside me, about up to here, okay? About up to here. And they were doing this inside my stomach. Right inside my stomach, right here, exact same spot as I'm sitting, except I'm sitting up instead of laying down. So these hands that I can feel moving around inside of my body, all right? It just kept going. They were working on me. Basically, the non-physical was performing surgery on me. They were doing something. And it lasted about a minute, all right? No words, I couldn't see anything. It was all through feeling. And while this was going on, again, I was in utter peace. The pain was gone. I felt love again, like home, you know, and as this was going on, all of a sudden it stopped, and then I felt the two hands pull out like this, and all my pain was instantly gone. Instantly gone. Now, for 2 months, I had been going through these horrific sweats, this dizziness, this vomiting, this unrelenting need to sleep. It was, I don't want to say horrific. It is just like it is now. I am brutally tired. Brutally tired. And yes, I'm up every day between 2 and 3 in the morning, every day, sometimes 1. I meditate, and by the end of the week, I'm wrecked. Yeah, okay, you know, but not this kind of tired. It's a lethargic tired. So in that time, in those couple months, I lost 65 pounds. All right. And this is what you see. This is the weight loss that you see. And it's still staying off. I'm still losing weight. I donate blood every 2 weeks, platelets, triple platelets, right? I'm in the high 180s, low 190s. I was 267 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I was 267 pounds. I was a big boy, you know. I didn't have a chin anymore. It was big. I was a big guy. But then after this, when this little surgery that was performed, I was like, once again, everything started to change. My eating habits changed. Like, I will not eat anything out of a box anymore or a can. We're not meant to. So that changed. It's unhealthy for us. We should be eating seeds and nuts, and we should be eating organic foods. End of subject. There is nothing else to discuss, period. If it doesn't rot in the freezer or fridge, in the fridge or on your plate, it doesn't belong in your body. Courtesy of the non-physical. So, I quit drinking soda. I quit eating a lot of candy. Now, do I have a treat every now and then? Of course, ladies and gentlemen. It's fine. But I have cut out television. I have not turned my television or watched the news in a year. I will not ever turn it on again. There is nothing but violence, death, and murder in movies, in TV, and on the news. I have no desire to witness that or see it. It'll break my heart, and I will get emotional like I am now. So the TV has gone. My food has changed. I eat a lot of proteins, eggs, chicken, a lot of organic mushrooms, healthy stuff, right? Salmon. I eat a lot of salmon. Now I eat a lot of sushi, and it is fantastic. And my body is responding to it. It is craving it. I eat meat. The non-physical does not care. Now, do they want you eating, meat 8 times a week? No. Well, we know 7 times. I eat it 2 or 3 times a week. Done deal. All right? I eat a lot of salads. I eat a lot of vegetables, steamed vegetables, a lot of broccoli, cancer fighting, a lot of red cabbage, cancer fighting. All right? I eat healthy. My whole life has changed. And now today when I was sleeping, I began to sweat profusely again. I began to, like yesterday, very, very lethargic, tired. So I am still in that ascension mode. All right. So if any of you are experiencing extreme fatigue, lethargy, all right, you're dizzy. You may have a ringing in your ears. I have tinnitus from a Metallica concert. That I'm trying to heal on my own. I have to figure it out through meditation. If you have ringing in your ears, that's a sign. Change in habits, diets. Your whole life is changing. You may look at yourself in the mirror and go, like I just said today, I don't even know myself anymore. I don't. My love of video games the last couple weeks, I have no desire anymore. Something's happening with me. Like playing bass, playing it again, I have no desire. My life is changing. It is moving in a direction that I had planned before I came here, right? I am now awake. I'm awakening and I am ascending into that higher consciousness, if I'm not already there, which I feel. But I'm still, still going through the process. Well, what is that? It means your body is absorbing light energy being sent from the non-physicals permeating through Mother Earth, because Gaia is changing. She is ascending in her energy. We have to as well, and that is what is going on. The ascension process has started back in 82, and I am now fully ingrained in it. So your spine, your bones, okay, are changing. That is why I am sore. My back aches. It is now absorbing more light. It is physically changing. Okay, my spinal cord, my vertebrae are changing. My knees, everything has been sore in me. All right, and these are just some of the major signs that you will see during your transition or ascension into your crystalline body. Now, I wanted to do a video on that, but we'll wait until next week. What I can just concentrate on the bodies themselves and give you more info on that. But right now, I am, transitioning or well into a crystalline body. I am no longer a carbon-based life form. So you can see where we're going, right? We're moving in the right direction. And I thought it was a good topic to talk about today, because some of those were all the things that I went through. Yes, I lost my job. Yes, I went through another financial crisis, right? That has been my synchronicities. Scraping by, then, I do well for a little bit and then back down to the bottom. And throughout my whole life, it has been that way, and again, it was my mentality. It was my feeling unworthy, and my energy, even though I had high energy, I still poo-pooed it. So hence my transition into, or ascension into, the crystalline body form, which is taking place. And again, that is on a cellular level, all right? It is a fundamental change in our bodies, in our suits that we are having. So that is what I have been going through for the last year. And it has kind of kicked up into another notch again with my beginning to sweat. Not nearly as bad when I'm sleeping, but I still will sit here and then all of a sudden I will be at 1,000,000 degrees. Like I am burning up. And it's like hot flashes to, to the female bodies out there. And they're extreme. They are extreme. And it is part of your ascension process. You will all go through it to a certain degree. Some will be worse, some will be bad. To me, it was very uncomfortable. It was very unpleasant. It was the real sweats, the vomiting, the dizziness, the lightheadedness, and the fatigue. And, given to me again, it was like during this process, you may lose friends. Your life will change. All right. You will begin to things that once served you. Say, like you going after the end of the week, you like going out to the bar Fridays and Saturdays, right? That may not serve you well. And it's like, I don't want that anymore. And you may not understand why. You just know that it is a huge change within you, right? You may lose friends, family members, because you are ascending. You are raising your vibration. You are raising your consciousness. And what once used to serve you will no longer serve you anymore. You will not do it. You may quit your job. Fine. I lost mine. I wasn't meant to be there, right? And then through those struggles, I was 2 days away from the police showing up and throwing me out of my apartment, losing everything. When I say the non-physical will give you what you wish for, what you want, it will come at the last minute. They want to make sure that you, when you're manifesting these things, when you're creating these in your head, the things that you want, they will come to you. You have to meet them on that energetic level. Your vibration has to be high. I have a very high vibration, but I chose a very difficult life of poverty, of scarcity, of, and it sucks. It does. Today when I went grocery shopping, it was either pay my bills or starve. I chose to eat. That's the world I live in right now. And it's temporary. I know it. I can feel the change coming. I can feel my manifestations coming through. What I am suffering from is I need to learn more patience, because we here in the physical, we want now. We want instant gratification. If I want something, I can go on the internet and get it. If I want, I can order it, right? Well, in this case, we have to wait. All right? We're not Yeshua. We're not at that level of love and forgiveness and all of that, where he could manifest anything he wanted in front of him because he had a light body. He could make it happen. We're not there yet. We are getting to that point. We are transitioning. And I want you to all understand, if some of these things are happening to you, do not be alarmed. All right? And a lot of you, if not all of you, will do it alone. You have to do this alone. Remember, you have to work on you. You come first, not your children, not your spouse, not the non-physical. You come first. You work on you. Love yourself. Hug yourself like I do. Kiss myself. Tell yourself how much you love yourself. All right? Work on yourself. It is imperative to your ascension. It is imperative to your spiritual growth. You came to this physical realm for you, and you only. Yes, you wanted to experience things, marriage, college, kids, this thing. Remember, your kids are not your own. They are also God's. They just love you enough to play that role for you, or you match their energy that they needed or that they were at, right? That's why they chose you. You may have a 1 in a million birth defect that they want to experience. So they may have chosen you begrudgingly just because, they'll put up with you for a little bit, but they only wanted that one thing. So You have to work on you. And I didn't know what was happening to me. I had no idea. I went to the doctor, all right, during this time. And now they did another EKG. They saw my massive weight loss and they're like, Jason, we have to find out. They did an EKG. They took my blood. They took like 6 vials of blood. They did an oxygen test. They scheduled me for, I know this is kind of gross, but what do they call it? I can't think of it now. Not a prostate exam, but what is that? They got to go up there with a scope. I can't think of it right now, but I had to have that done. And because I was vomiting so much that they went into my stomach and they did biopsies, a colonoscopy. There you go. They did a colonoscopy, right, to see if I have colon cancer, because my weight loss was so drastic without even trying, and even to this day, I barely put in 500 to 800 calories a day within me. I have really no desire to eat, but when I do eat, I may go, like yesterday, I had 2 egg salad sandwiches. You do the math. How many calories did I intake? And I drank nothing but water. Maybe 500 calories with the eggs, the little bit of mayo, and 2 pieces of bread. Come on. That's all I had to eat yesterday. And I'm still haven't eaten today, and I'm not hungry. So things are going to change within you, and that's the topic of this video. You are going to ascend, and nobody will be left out. You do not have a choice. You are ascending, some more rapidly than others. I am ascending very rapidly. And I want you to know that what you are experiencing is normal. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be painful in sometimes, in some ways. For me, it was very much painful. My body hurt. It ached. Like when you have a real bad case of the flu and you say, my bones hurt. That's what it was like. And I was trying to meditate 2 or 3 weeks ago. And my as I was sitting crisscross apple, I couldn't stick. My legs hurt so bad. I was like, I can't. The pain was too much. And I just laid down and tried to finish it. It's going to happen to you, all of you. And I love you enough to let you know that this is what is going to happen to you. Now, some of you may be way high up there with me. Some of you may go through milder symptoms. Either way, it's going to happen, all right? Your life is going to change. What used to suit you will not suit you anymore. Your job, your living, you may move out into the country. You may become a farmer. You may become something else. Like, I don't want to be, I've always wanted to be out in nature. I've always loved being in the woods. I love camping. Now I know why. Because it's home, right? We pick up the energy of Mother Gaia. Walk in the grass in your bare feet. Sit there. Let the sun hit your face. Enjoy your transition. Now, I didn't today because I'm physically tired and my body needs rest. So I barely made it through grocery shop, and now I said I have to do this. I want to get this video out of the way, and then I'm probably just going to lay down for the rest of the day and nap all day. I'm tired, and your body you have to submit to this. You cannot just keep going ramrod, hell bells and all of that. It's not going to work. Your body needs rest. It is changing on a massive scale, and it needs rest. So if any of you are going through this, know that you're okay, that you are ascending, and that everything is going to be beautiful, but your life will change. Again, like I told you, I don't even know who I am anymore. Everything that I once loved is now gone. Video games, playing bass, watching movies. Something's happening to me. I'm moving in a direction where I know what it is, but in the same aspect, it's kind of nothing that I ever would have expected or have chosen. But that was the ego. Now I'm following my spiritual awakening, my spiritual mind, and that is a teacher of home. the non-physical, who we are. I've been doing this for 20 to 30,000 years, coming here to help all of you, right? I'm a chosen one. My life has been difficult, very difficult. And a lot of it was up here in my own head because I felt unworthy because of the abuse and everything that I went through, right? So I just became very, very lost and disgruntled. And, upon my own death, I was loved more than anything you could have ever known. Not only by Father, by Yeshua, by all of home, I was welcomed. I did nothing wrong. And that was the beginning of my change. I knew it was coming. They knew it was coming. And it's been drastic, right? So now I'm waiting for the manifestations to come through because I know the job that I'm at isn't going to be there very much longer. I can feel it. Big change is coming soon. And I'm frustrated. I'm very frustrated. And I know that I have to calm myself down because I'm right where I need to be. Those changes are coming. Those manifestations are coming. And as today, I either eat or I pay the bills. I choose to eat. I no longer care about the broken society we created. And that of the church means nothing to me anymore. What means something to me is telling you the truth of who and what you are, what's going to be going on in your lives very soon, if not already. I'm a teacher. And I'm here for all of you. I love you that much. Again, I don't have to do this. I know this. I could keep this all to myself, but that's not why I came to this earth. I came to this earth because I love you. And I keep coming to this earth because I love all of you so damn much. And I will help all of you ascend. I will help all of you that want the guidance. I am here and I love you. So, next video. So there's going to be 2 videos coming out for you guys. One that I did last week that didn't get done. He's got it. He's going to be working on it this week. This video will come out and hopefully same week. That would be great. So that way you guys can see it. Next video will be on the 3 body types that I kind of touched in earlier. The carbon-based life form that we are, that we will not be anymore. We're into the second stage of the crystalline body. And then the third and last stage before we go home is the pure light body. And once you have done that, you have been ascended. That's all you need. That'll be your last manifestation, just like Yeshua. So we'll talk more about that because it's very interesting, the changes that are taking place in your bodies. And I want you to all know that you're not nuts, okay? That what's taking place within you is natural, it's beautiful, and in the end, you are going to see a big welcome difference in your life. So don't be afraid if you're like, I don't want to live here anymore. I need to be here. That's where you need to be. This job, I don't want it. I want to be a farmer. There you go. I want to move into helping or thriving or, doing something. But your life is going to change drastically, okay? The world is changing. Our economy, our governments are soon to be, crushed because of, what is coming. And I've talked you about this, World War III. 8 billion or 9 billion people will be on this planet. When all is said and done and the weather calms down, there will only be 1 billion people left on this planet. All right? The rest is wiped out. Governments wiped out. Countries wiped out. We will be an egalitarian community. You know what that means? Men and women, the vehicles are equal on every level. There is no money. There is no fame. There is no fortune. There is us. Oneness. And I'm trying to stop that war from happening. All right? I'm trying desperately. I don't want it to happen. It can't happen. But if we don't change quicker, it's going to. And we will not be here, as I told you, ladies and gentlemen. As much as we are ascending, we will not be here. when the new earth arrives. And I will talk about that, the new earth, in a couple weeks. We'll talk about more in depth about the new world. All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I love you all so very much. Thank you once again for tuning in. Thank you for your support and love. I love you all so very much. Put your comments on what you want me to discuss. I've got a couple more topics that I do need to discuss with you guys first, and then I will get into your topics. Just put them down there. If there's any negative comments, this channel is Love and Light Jason for a reason, because it's all about love and it's all about light, which is what we are. We are the direct manifestations of Father. If you want to leave a negative comment, if you want to continue to be lost, do it on someone else's channel, not this. You will be hidden from the channel. You will no longer ever be allowed to comment. My intuition is another thing that has happened in my ascension, is I am dead nuts on with my intuition. It is, I can tell without even reading it, within 1 or 2 words, where it's going, and I will simply hide it and delete it, and it will be gone, and so will you. So please, I encourage you, if this not for you, just say, hey, it wasn't for me, I'm gonna move on. But this video and all my videos are meant for those who are awakening, who are open to spirituality, who are leaving organized religion because they know 1 and 1 isn't adding up to 2 anymore, all right? And that's why I do this channel. It's love and light. Any negativity will be gone. If you don't like the video while you're watching it, simply stop it and move on. All right, guys? I love you all to death. Put those comments down there. Put those, what you want me to talk about in there. And if there's anything that you want a one-on-one with, loveandlightjason.com. That's my website. You can go there, and you can also contact me directly through there if you want a one-on-one session. I'm going to try and sneak in a live video. Maybe this Friday I will do it. I don't know. Put your comments on what you want me to talk about, and then we'll see. All right? I love you all so much. It is a beautiful, sunny, warm day. It's about 73 here it's close to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm about 17 miles out of it. Beautiful day here in Wisconsin. So go enjoy your day. I love you all very much, and I will talk to you soon.